The wonderful sound of the podcast. Starting up. Welcome back, everybody, to the Veteran and Rookie Podcast.
Hey, guys.
I am your veteran, Benea.
I'm John, and I'm here too.
And we got our first return guest, also our only guest that we've had so far.
Best guest so far.
On video now,
back.
Mr. David.
Thank you guys for having me again.
First time his cute face is on video.
Yeah, the people loved you
Oh,
so
that's
much
right.
that they made us our most viewed podcast episode is the one that you were on, and we didn't even have video for it. And so I can only imagine what the views are going to be on this one.
Just so many.
Through
Today,
the roof.
I'm really excited. We're doing a mock draft
Ooh,
for
it's mock draft
this-
season.
this upcoming NFL draft. The way we're going to do it is somewhat back and forth. So it'd be going David, Benea, me. Some of the teams are kind of split up though. Like I have two of the I have both the Lions picks and I have the Bills picks because they're my team.
And both the Seahawks picks.
Both the Seahawks picks. So we're kind of going to go back and forth, but it's kind of going to be everywhere too. So
Yep, kind of drafting as the teams, and I'm really excited for this.
yeah, we'll be able to make trades or cut people or whatever we really need to do.
Just take total control of the team. Trade Josh Allen for a 6th round pick.
Anybody
Yep.
want Jalen Hurts? I'm willing to trade.
There you go.
I'll trade you Derrick Henry.
I'm just kidding.
Derrick Henry for Jalen Hurts right there.
I think that's a fair trade.
There you go. Well, I'm sure the Titans would love it.
Yeah, and you guys could draft a quarterback, and
Uh-huh.
you guys had
Oh,
a top
boy.
10 pick.
We'll
Yep.
trade for Lamar.
There you go.
I don't have the Ravens.
I got the Ravens. I'll send Lamar to you.
We're getting a bit
get
ahead
there
of
when we
ourselves.
get there.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So this first round pick is David's, I believe.
Dave, yeah, let's jump right into
we'll
it.
jump right into it.
First overall pick, Carolina Panthers. Where are we going?
So all signs are pointing. Obviously, the Panthers are getting a QB here. They didn't trade with the Bears to trade up to get Will Anderson.
Yeah.
That would be that's not what they would do. That's not what they need. They need a QB. They need a leader. They need someone to put them in playoff contention again. And there are two QBs that are really in the first two picks. And it's kind of consensus. It's either Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. And there's really no room for error there. It's going to be one of those two in the first pick. Yep. And most likely the Texans will get them in that second pick. But Panthers,
They got their choice.
they have their choice. I think they like a certain guy because of his arm during pro day.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud, I believe, will be the first pick in this 2023 NFL draft. CJ's he really is a great player. He's got a ton of arm talent. I can't really think of any Buckeye quarterback in recent memory. I mean, Justin Fields was really good, but I can't really think of any Buckeye quarterback in recent memory that was nearly as good as he was. I mean, Dwayne Haskins, none of these guys are as good or have as high of a ceiling as CJ Stroud does. I am a little bit weary on CJ Stroud in his NFL career. I think Bryce Young will be the better player eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not necessarily what I would do. This is what I think the Panthers will do. I think that number one pick is CJ Stroud. And I think that's pretty set in stone even 3 weeks before the NFL draft. I think so.
But hey, this is your team right now. You can choose whoever you want, like whoever you think is the best. This is your mock draft.
That is true.
If you think Bryce Young is going to be a better quarterback in the future and you're willing to wait,
I do believe he is. There's always the chance I'm wrong. And you know what? In 5 years from now, if I go back and watch or listen to this podcast,
Oh, it's going to be laughable.
This is
all mock drafts.
there will be exactly. And so
they're both going to be backups on like the Ravens and
Uh-huh.
sure.
you know.
Yeah, they both shouldn't have been number one overall at all.
Yeah, bad,
you
whatever,
know.
It's like, looking back, how was Will Levis not the top pick?
Yeah.
Oh,
my goodness.
just to be consistent with what I believe will happen,
Okay.
CJ is going number one.
All right.
It's Stroud at number one.
Mm-hmm. All right, number 2, I believe that's me, the Texans, right?
That's right.
I got the Texans at number 2, and I think, whichever way the Panthers go, they could go Bryce Young, they could go CJ Stroud, and the Texans, they're just sitting there, and they're just waiting to take whoever the Panthers don't take. And if I'm the Texans in this situation specifically, I'm pretty hyped because I think their preference would be a Bryce Young.
Yeah.
I think I've heard that, he should have that kind of Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence type hype coming out of college. The big thing with him is just he's short and he's like under 200 pounds. He's a little guy and there's injury concern with that. But I mean, outside of that, from what I've seen and heard, there's not a lot of flaws to his game. And so I think the Texans happily turn in the card at number 2 for Bryce Young.
Yeah, buddy. Get
That's
it done.
that's a phenomenal pick. I think that could be the pick of the draft. I know it's like, of course, it's going to be in the top 3 picks. It's going to be the pick of the draft. But I truly do believe Bryce Young will be. In the way from what, if I may share my opinion here, he's 5'10". He plays like Michael Vick.
Ooh.
Just with the way he's got a big arm. It's probably not as big as Michael's, and he probably isn't as speedy and quick as Michael Vick was, but he's very shifty. He can escape pressure.
Yeah, move
really
around in the
well.
pocket.
He's probably more accurate than Michael Vick was entering the NFL. He's probably a little bit more well-rounded than Vick was, but that'd be my comp. I think Bryce is a great pick too.
I don't really think I've heard him compared to Vick. I like that.
Sweet. I'm the Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
That's
What do
right.
you do here? Do you trade your pick back with somebody,
No.
or do you just take best player available?
I'm taking Will Anderson.
Will Anderson.
The
edge
they need
rusher.
an edge, and he's an edge, and he's good. I'm taking him.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to say about that because I don't know too much about either the team or the player, but he's at the top of the draft board, and I'll take him.
Yeah. Would you say he's the best edge or maybe even defensive player in this draft?
He's the best player overall in this draft, bar none. He was actually going to enter. People were saying he was going to enter the NFL last year, and if he was going to still be a top 3 pick.
That's crazy.
That's how good he was last year. Even more so. I mean, this last year he was all right. He was good, but the comp is Von Miller.
Oh wow, yeah.
The comp is Von Miller.
That's a pretty good comp.
And that's not an exaggeration. Like, he is expected to be like Von Miller. And you know what? The Cardinals, they just got rid of 2 of their edge rushers. Didn't J.J. Watt?
J.J. Watt
He
retired.
retired, and then Zach Allen, I believe was his name. He went to the Broncos.
Okay.
And he was a pretty good edge rusher for the Cardinals. So this is a need. So that's
And
a
even
great
Chandler Jones the year before that.
pick. That's exactly right.
gone
yeah.
to the Raiders.
Great pick there with Will.
And the
Yeah.
Cardinals kind of need help everywhere.
Yeah.
So, best player available is definitely the route they need to go there.
Yeah. So
Let's see
Who's
who's up
after him?
next.
Colts.
I'm in here for the Colts.
you're the Colts.
Ooh.
How do you feel about that?
You want to trade?
Want to trade back? No, I think the Colts need their quarterback.
Yeah.
I said a couple episodes ago, go out trade for Lamar. Doesn't sound like they want to do that. Doesn't sound like anyone wants to do that right now. So I guess if you're a Ravens fan, that's nice. But they Indianapolis badly needs a quarterback. I don't think they want to go the veteran quarterback route. I don't think they should, considering that's what they've done every year since Andrew Luck retired. And the best quarterback was Phillip Rivers. An old Phillip Rivers. I think they go quarterback here. I think they go Will Levis.
All right.
Will Levis.
Number 4 overall. I know Anthony Richardson had the big combine and whatnot, but he's got the athleticism, but there's so much that you got to hone in on. I know Will Levis, of course, is incredibly raw as well, but I think he's more ready because I think whoever they bring in is probably going to be starting definitely by midseason.
Sure.
Maybe Minshew plays the first 4 games of the year or something, but I don't think it's going to take long for whoever their rookie quarterback is to see the field.
Yeah. No, for sure. Who are their quarterbacks right now? It's Desmond Ritter, right?
Ritter's on the Falcons.
He's on the Falcons. That's right.
They got Sam.
who do the
I think I
Colts
got
have?
Sam Ellinger.
They have Ellinger. Okay, yeah.
And then I think Nick Foles might still be on that roster.
Oh, boy.
They got the 2019 Jags quarterback room in there.
Wow. Yeah, they need a QB.
Yeah.
Good pick. That's a good pick.
Seahawks are up next.
Seahawks is me.
That's John.
It's saying here for the Seahawks that they need an edge and a linebacker, and I don't see a lot of that in the top here except for Tyree Wilson.
Tyree Wilson.
Tyree. Wow, my goodness.
You got the first
I got the
letters
first
of
letter, yeah.
each name, right?
David, what do you think about him?
Tyree Wilson he's been mocked in a lot of places to the Seattle Seahawks. He is 6'6", 275 pounds, and he's very fast. He's just an athletic. He's really, really athletic.
Yeah.
Sounds like the guy the Seahawks would draft.
He didn't have the best tape when I looked at him. I mean, he's no Will Anderson, but it does sound like a Seahawk pick of like just get that freak who's really good, who's just really athletic. And so, yeah, I think that's a good pick.
Another spot the Seahawks could go here, though, that some people are mocking is quarterback. Because Geno Smith just got re-signed, but it's a 3-year deal, but it's one of those where it's like, well, it's really only like a 1-year deal, like guaranteed at least. And so, they could go Anthony Richardson, sit him for a year or two, heck, maybe 3, because, they're not planning on picking this high in the next few years. So that's another option you could go.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go the edge here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really love – I think Geno will play another 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I could see that. But it's just, he's, 33 or something like that. And so in that situation, it would be the Seahawks, thinking about the future there.
Yeah. He just hit his prime.
Yeah,
so
honestly.
That's kind of funny. But maybe I will pick Anthony Richardson.
Ooh, that'd be spicy.
Ooh. David, what do you think about Anthony Richardson? Do you think he's –
Oh, Anthony Richardson's a good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback. Like he's definitely worth top. He's worth top 5 in my opinion. I'm just not sure he's worth top 5 for Seattle. If they think they have their QB.
Yeah, if they think they
now.
have a quarterback set, I double down there.
But I mean, it's your team. If you want to take.
Are you building for the future? Or are you trying to win now?
I'm gonna take the edge.
I think that's a good.
Tyree
I
Wilson.
think that's a good. I think that is a wise pick.
Oh, Judas, it's me again.
Oh, yep, you're up again as the
Lions.
Detroit Lions, another team that it's rumored Anthony Richardson could go to.
Yeah, because their QB's
Sit
Jared
behind
Goff.
Goff
right?
is okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's just above mid.
But what if they want someone who's better than that,
Yeah.
and someone who has at least the potential to be?
Are you trying to auction off Richardson over here?
I'm just giving them options.
I'm looking at a lot of needs that the Lions also have. Besides, they just got rid of Jeff Okudah.
Yep, they need a corner.
So they desperately need a corner.
Yeah.
I am also looking at that defensive line and saying, okay, Aiden Hutchinson, great,
And that's it.
So maybe they go Jalen Carter, defensive tackler. Like there's a ton of ways. You're right. They could go QB, but there's a ton of other ways that the Lions could go here.
What do you think about that freak tight end who was like huge and caught the ball one-handed over his head in the what was it?
In the combine?
In the combine. That dude was a freak. He ran really fast and he had a crazy jump.
Which one was that? Was that Dalton Kincaid?
I can't
Was it
remember,
Michael
but
Meyer?
he had the
Michael
wingspan
Meyer?
that was bigger than Shaq's or something like that.
Was that? Or I thought that was a lineman.
No, I'm pretty
Maybe
sure
it
that was a tight
maybe it
end.
was a tight end. I don't know.
They don't have a good tight end right now because they traded it to.
Yeah, 6 feels very high to go for a tight end though.
They have that pick at 18.
Oh,
too. Remember,
yeah,
the
okay,
Lions do
okay.
have 2 picks.
It's a very deep tight end class as well.
Okay.
A lot of good tight ends in this one.
So you're saying go for corner here?
I think that's what they should do. But you're the Lions.
You're the Lions. What do you think they should get here?
I think they get corner because their defense was awful in the first half of the year, and it was just passable in the second half. So getting a corner here, especially like a top 5 corner, top 6. What do you guys think of these top 2 corners here?
Yeah, you got Christian Gonzalez, who I've watched a little bit of tape of. He's very patient. He's very good at. He's very technically sound. He's like a Darius Slay type corner,
okay.
where he's
Former Lion.
He's technically former line. He's technically sound. Athletically, he's not. He's probably not as good as the other guy who's Devon Witherspoon. At least on my board, he's not. Devon Witherspoon's he's a ball hawk. Like he's like Sauce Gardner kind of a corner.
Okay.
But Christian Gonzalez, there's probably a little bit more is a safer pick, I would say. There's a little bit more upside there. Witherspoon is a little bit more ball hawking corner. I don't think you could go wrong with either one though. Both are going to be great.
I feel gutsy. I'm going with Witherspoon.
Ooh,
Nice.
all right.
I like the athleticness, and you can. Not a lot of people are good their rookie year, so I think you can train that. And athleticism is a lot harder to train. I think if you have a bigger body, you can't really train getting taller. So that's guess my reasoning for that.
I think that's a good pick.
All right,
Who's
7.
the Raiders?
That's David.
David's the Raiders.
The Raiders. Before I pick, I have to ask. Anybody want Anthony Richardson?
Ooh.
Anybody want to trade?
Let's see what teams am I? I'm the Texans, Packers.
So we have the Falcons at 8.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to trade up one pick, though.
Yeah.
The Titans are at 11. Do they need a QB?
They do.
You want to trade up to 7?
For
You want to go get Anthony
for
Richardson?
what? What am I trading up for?
I don't need a running back
Okay.
because we got Josh Jacobs.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're pretty set at running back right now. But I'd like some of your, if you're going to get your quarterback, that's fine. You're trading up 4 spots. I am willing to trade my 7 pick for your 11, and you also need to give me your 2nd rounder this year and your 3rd rounder next year.
Kind of
move up
sounds
4
like a
picks.
lot.
If you want your QB,
But if it's
I
a quarterback that you love.
if you want Anthony Richardson for your Titans,
What's the other? Is there any other good QBs in this?
he's the last.
He's
one
the last
out of
first
4.
rounder.
He's the last first rounder.
Unless someone really wants to reach on Hendon Hooker.
Dang it, man.
You could say no. That's okay.
Okay, the only thing that's really stopping me from saying no is I don't know how trades work on this app. So
Oh, you want to say yes?
yeah,
It's
I'll do
pretty
it.
easy.
I'll do that for you. I'll trade.
Was that the 11th pick and the 41st pick
Yeah.
for the 7th pick?
Yep. 11th, 7th, and honestly, it's the way that this draft works.
Doesn't really matter
It
past the
doesn't
first round.
Exactly.
Okay, how do I do this?
Yeah, click
As long as you
click
can
the
get,
Raiders.
as long as you can get the trade to go through. And with the 7th pick, the Titans select Anthony Richardson, quarterback, Florida.
Yes, sir. How do I draft this?
And that's yours. That's your Titans pick
Yep.
right there.
We have a quarterback and we have a solid running back who is leaving, but that's okay. It's the Falcons next. Who's the Falcons?
Falcons, that's David.
Is that me?
David again.
Okay. I think Falcons could go. I really liked corner here for Falcons, but they just got Jeff Okudah
And they already got AJ Terrell.
and they got AJ Terrell. I think they're going to take a chance on Jeff Okudah for this year. And I think they go best player available.
Ooh, and there's a few of them there.
And there is a few of them there. Jalen Carter is falling down these draft boards.
Mm-hmm.
He could easily go to the Falcons here.
Yeah, I could see that.
But one of the big needs that I see for the Falcons is offensive line, because their offensive line is shot and it really needs help.
Yep.
I also think the Falcons scramble here because I think they wanted Anthony Richardson,
Probably.
and I think now that this happens, they could also trade back, but I don't think they're going to trade back here. I think they're going to stick with their pick. I'm going to go, and it's probably going to be a little bit more boring. They're going to take a Georgia guy in their home state of Atlanta, right, in their home state of Georgia. They're going to take Broderick Jones, offensive tackle, Georgia.
Nice.
I have the pick here. I think the Falcons, they need offensive line desperately. They're going to take a hometown guy. Jalen Carter would have been a hometown guy, which is the other guy I probably would have taken if I were the Falcons. But I see this as more of a need for them. And Jalen Carter's got some
Off the field issues.
off the field issues that have recently surfaced, and so I see the Falcons being one of those organizations that they're not really risk takers with those kinds of people. I think they're going to
Except when they really, really try to get Deshaun Watson.
right. No, that's true. That's true. I'm thinking they take Broderick Jones at 8.
Mm-hmm. Good
stuff.
pick. See, the Chicago Bears are up next. That's me. There's
I'm not
two
picking
guys
for like
I'm
3 other
thinking
picks.
here.
Oh my goodness.
Of course, Jalen Carter falling down the board. Bears need any and everyone they can get on defense.
Everything.
But
they need
their
everything.
offensive line was so atrocious last year. They probably had the worst offensive line in the
I'm
league.
looking it up right now.
And Justin Fields was out there running for his life. I think that's one reason he had so many rushing yards that he did, is he had to just drop back 1.5 seconds later. He's like, okay, I have no time to throw. I got to run. And so, man, it's tough for me as the Bears here to pass up on Jalen Carter, but man, do they need offensive line help.
The Chicago Bears were ranked 32nd, dead last in the league, offensive line.
Judas Priest.
That's bad.
Yeah, with that, and maybe, you know, the characteristics with Jalen Carter as well. I don't know, but I think he's going to continue to fall. I got the Bears going with Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle from Ohio State.
Good pick.
Good stuff.
You got to protect your quarterback.
Good pick. Yeah, Justin Fields. He's really good at getting away from pressure, but he's going to get injured unless you get some help there.
There's no way he lasts into his 30s.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe not even another 2 years.
He's going to go Andrew Luck style
Right.
if he keeps getting hit like that.
Or Tua.
Yeah. So now David's got his Eagles at 10, and he's probably pretty pleased right now, I'd imagine.
Jalen Carter sitting there at 10 for the Eagles, especially considering we just lost Javon Hargrave, is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Howie does it.
Ooh.
Really?
Carter continues to fall.
I don't think Howie will do it.
I bet Carter's like upset at home right now.
Well, maybe he shouldn't have done what he did.
Well, yeah, okay.
I'm not sure. I mean, that's a big risk.
Passing up
That's
on
a
him there.
very big risk to take him. Here's the deal, though. I'm looking at this draft board, and there's really not a need in any of these. Like all these people that are up high, I don't see the Eagles really taking any of these players.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Eagles here will take the risk, and we're going to take Jalen Carter unless someone else wants him. And I'm going to open up the floor right now. Do any of your teams want to trade up for the guy who's sliding, or perhaps for another guy like Christian Gonzalez, or Bijan Robinson, the running back? Like, is there any of these guys?
None of the teams that I'm really looking at.
I think I'm okay. There's a lot of teams here, and I don't really.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot.
Yeah. Maybe we could have got 32
So you're gonna
people
go
for this.
big podcast
Big podcast, yeah.
Jalen Carter at 10.
to the
Jalen Carter
Philadelphia
to the
Eagles.
Eagles
Philadelphia
take him,
Eagles.
and I think if you look at his tape, he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And you're pairing him on that defensive line with our first rounder last year. Because we got
what's his face?
We got my mind just went blank.
I know his name.
I
So
don't.
do I.
I'm not the Eagles fan though, so
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
What position is he?
defensive line.
He's defensive line. It's Jordan Davis.
Yeah,
Jordan
yeah, yeah,
Davis.
Jordan
I'm
Davis.
sorry. Yeah, my mind went blank there. Yeah, Jordan Davis.
Because he's kind of a freak too.
He's a big man. He's not very good at sacking the quarterback. Jalen Carter is, and so it would be a good 1-2 punch.
Is Davis
And they
more
played-
of that run stuffer?
Sure. Yeah, he is, and he's just got so much mass.
Yeah.
He just takes up.
It's like a bear.
Yeah, he's just big.
Nice.
Okay,
Yeah, you're up again now with the Raiders.
I did not plan that.
But you did. You traded.
I guess I did.
You opened the door.
Open the door and I closed
Right
it.
now, the Raiders could use.
Just about.
I think they
anything.
could use just about anything. I think Christian Gonzalez here at corner would be a good pick.
Mhm.
I do not think they're going to go that route, though.
Okay.
I think they are going to take edge rusher from Iowa, Lucas Van Ness is the guy that I have pinned. The Raiders need edge rushers. They need some help there.
Yep.
They're pretty desperate for that. They ranked easily bottom half of the league in pass rush generated last year. But Lucas Van Ness, he's 6'5", 272, big guy. He's very technically sound. I guess a good comp would be Hendrickson
Yeah, I think so.
on the Bengals.
yeah.
That's who he reminds me of when you watch him on tape. And a guy like that, I think, would fit right in with the with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh.
The Las Vegas Raiders. I think he'd fit right in. I think that's something that's a player they
Mhm.
like.
Pair him up with Max Crosby, and you can also see if Chandler Jones is ever going to be good again. And
Right.
then, I mean, if all those guys become good next year, then Raiders have a scary pass rush.
Well, Max Crosby's the only. Chandler Jones is good, but he's really dropped off. Max,
yeah.
Max
I
Crosby's
don't
the
have a
only
reason
guy
to
that's
think that he
really
will.
there right now.
Yep.
That's holding up. He's holding on the fort.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, he's like their entire just defense.
Right.
All right, I'm up again with the Houston Texans, number 12, and there's a number of places I could go here, but especially after trading Brandon Cooks, we have, I don't know what wide receiver. I think Amari Rodgers is there,
Mm-hmm.
and And, they got that guy they drafted in the second round last year who didn't play because he got cancer, but he's coming back from it. So, we'll see if he's good this next year.
Yeah.
But I want to get my new quarterback a weapon. I'm going to go Jackson Smith and Jigba from Ohio State.
Great.
That's how you say that?
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Say the last part.
Njigba.
That's
I think.
weird.
It is.
Jigba. That's kind of like, sounds like a bug.
It kind of does. See, you got an Njigba on you.
No, get it off. It's scaring me.
They're poisonous.
I'm the Jets, aren't I?
You are the Jets. Now, there's a few ways the Jets could use that pick.
They need a quarterback, but there's nothing left.
They do need a quarterback. I mean, there's more than one way to acquire a quarterback, though.
There is, and I don't really want to do all that trading business. So, an offensive tackle or an edge would be good.
Mm-hmm.
I see this edge up here. He's Miles Murphy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Out of Clemson, I've heard good things about him.
Yeah, he can go up or down. He goes up or down most people's draft boards. I've seen him as high as 5. I've seen him as low as 31, 32.
Wow.
So he's got a
Anywhere in the first
it's a wide
round.
variety. He played for Clemson, which helps. It's a big school. Played a lot of tough offensive linemen there. He was probably ranked higher at the beginning of this last season than he did to end the season. So he didn't have the best
Not a
season this
good
year.
year.
I think that's the reason why people aren't as high on him. But he would be a great player at 13. I could see Joe Douglas doing something like that.
What do you think of offensive tackle Peter Skoronski?
Yeah, Peter Skoronsky.
Skoronski.
He's decent. He's got really good speed and explosiveness. He kind of reminds me of someone who belongs on the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line, just in terms of they're not the biggest offensive line. He's not the biggest offensive lineman in the world, but if you see him run, he can get downfield and get to the next blocker, shove his guy out to the side, get to the next guy. He's that kind of an offensive lineman. So, and Joe Douglas was an Eagle. He was an Eagle front office guy. So maybe there's
Got some of
something
that
there.
Eagle blood in him.
Yeah, maybe.
You want to trade up for it?
Eagles
Oh,
don't
I
need a
think the
lineman.
Eagles. I think the Eagles we're gonna stay put at 30. I don't think we need an offensive lineman.
All right, I'll take the edge here, Miles Murphy.
Good pick.
There you go.
That's the Patriots. That's Benet, I believe.
No, I think it's David.
Oh, David's the Patriots.
You know, I'm really glad you didn't take Peter Skoronsky, because if you looked at the Patriots this last season, I think Mac Jones he was top 5 for most pressures against him in the season.
Dang.
If you saw their offensive line, they were shot. I think they go offensive lineman here and take that guy from Northwestern. I think that's a Bill Belichick type pick, anyways.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go there.
Yep.
That's Green Bay. That's you, Benet.
Green Bay's up next, and I mean, for all these years, they've needed a receiver. They got Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs in the draft last year, which
real.
they're great. But we need another guy to put around Jordan Love, and in my opinion, that guy is Jordan Addison, out of
Same man.
USC. Great player, played with Kenny Pickett, right, out at Pitt, and then at USC this past year, and he balled out. And so I think that's the kind of guy that they need to kind of complement Christian Watson, who's more of the physical type of receiver, and then Jordan Addison, a little bit more of a smaller guy, I believe, who can get those yards after catch.
Phenomenal pick. He won the what's the what?
The Biletnikoff,
Yeah, the Biletnikoff Award. Not this year, the year prior.
and he's better now.
He's 21 years old right now, when most of these guys are 23 and 24. He is a young rookie.
Yeah.
He will be a very young rookie.
And so even if he comes in raw for the first 2 years, you're still ahead.
I think if you pair him with Christian Watson, yeah, the Packers got for years to come. They have a dynamite 1-2 punch there.
Give Jordan Love no excuses.
Yeah, good pick, great pick.
All right,
Hey,
and then I'm up again now.
Commanders.
The Washington Commanders. Let's see, where do I want to go here? Do they need corner? I don't think I can name a single corner on Washington. So they
It
might.
does
need a
look like they
corner.
need a
Because
cornerback.
Christian Gonzalez, I'd say he's fallen a little bit now. He's, according to this mock draft simulator, he's the 8th ranked prospect. We're down to pick number 16 now.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see them going there. Washington, they also love their front four. They love their defensive linemen. There's a couple of them here that they could go. But I'm going to go cornerback here, Christian Gonzalez
Good pick.
to the Commanders.
Yeah, they took advantage of that board there. Christian Gonzalez could have gone in the top 10.
I think,
He's
he
like
easily could have gone to the
16.
Lions.
Yeah.
But the manager is really not that smart, so he didn't take.
Well, you're at 18. You're coming up soon. You're
Yep.
you're the pick after
Redeem yourself.
Steelers here, right?
Yep. Where does Pittsburgh want to go?
You know, Pittsburgh's got a lot of needs. They actually have a big need at inside linebacker. And the Steelers, it seems like every other year, take
They're
an
always drafting
inside
linebackers.
linebacker in the first round. The sad part is there's really not many good linebackers in this draft that I see. Will that stop the Steelers from taking a dominant defensive player? Of course it won't. They're going to take a linebacker, or they're going to take an edge rusher linebacker hybrid. I think the guy they pick here is edge rusher / linebacker from Georgia. Nolan Smith is the pick here.
Nolan
Okay.
Smith. All right.
He's a little smaller. He's 6'2", 238.
Wow, tiny.
His downhill speed is insane. He's very good at tackling and getting to the next level and getting to the running back in the backfield. And he's really good at blitzing too. I think that's a Steeler pick there.
Yep. They always take. I swear, like 80% of Steelers' first round picks just in history are linebackers.
Have they been good?
Most of the time. Sometimes they're Devin Bush, but you know.
You get Devin Bush, you get a TJ Watt.
You know, the yin and the yang.
Yeah. Lions are up at
Bad
18.
and the terrible, or the good and the terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, the great and the not so much.
Keep going for defense here, I think, because the offense was pretty killer. They were 5th ranked in most points scored, I believe.
They were up there.
They were up there. They were number 1 for a couple weeks there, like week 6 or 7. But their defense couldn't keep up, and they were 1-6.
Because they were averaging like 35 points per game and giving up like 36.
Yeah, so they definitely need defensive help, and I think I'm going to take the safety from Alabama, Brian Branch.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of reasoning for that. It's just he's a safety, and I don't see
He's
a lot
on
of other
defense, and they
safeties.
They have a need.
They have a need on defense. Brian Branch is a phenomenal defensive back.
Pairing up with
Pairing with C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yep.
that.
That's going to be
And
good.
then they already go corner in the first here.
Did they get, what was their first pick?
They went with Witherspoon.
Devin Witherspoon.
Witherspoon.
And
Yeah.
so Lions should have a pretty good secondary
that
then.
secondary is good. That's going to be really good.
It's gonna be
That's a
tough
young,
to throw against. Yep.
young, good secondary. Game.
Even with Jeff Okudah gone now, like
Right.
Yeah. I think the Lions will do well this year.
I could see them taking that division.
I hope so, man. I really like the Lions.
I hope not.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see. Buccaneers up next here at 19. And man, they got a lot of needs. You know, they are a far cry from the team that won the Super Bowl and then brought everybody back the next year. Let's see. They could go running back, Bijan Robinson, but it feels like taking a running back in the first round is typically a luxury pick
Yeah.
for teams, you know, for like the Chiefs to do or the Bills to do late in the draft.
Yeah, buddy.
So I think, where do I want to go here? We could go defense. They still have, I want to say they still have a lot of their, you know, good pieces on defense. We'll see how many of those guys last now that, who was it that requested the trade?
Right.
Yeah. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Also blanking on his name. You guys just said it before the podcast. and I
We
can't
did. We were
remember.
talking about it pre-podcast.
What? Who are you?
A defensive player on the-
Linebacker on the Bucks. Who
Oh,
just
that's
requested-
Devin White.
Devin White. I was gonna say Devin Bush, but I was like, no, we were just talking about him.
Devin White. Yeah.
Maybe trade Devin White to the Steelers. Ooh, Steelers already passed their pick though.
That's true. They did.
We're good. We like our Nolan Smith. We're good.
Let's see. I'm gonna go. Let's go. What are you saying?
I want to trade with the Buccaneers right now.
Oh, okay.
And you'd be
as the Bucks,
shocked.
there's no one here I love.
Cool. I am the Chargers, and I want to give you Austin Eckler
Ooh. In exchange for my 19th
for your
overall
19.
pick.
Just
Okay.
Eckler for 19.
Eckler for 19.
That's what I want.
You know what? I'll take Austin Eckler to move back 2 spots. Count me in.
Oh no. I'm not giving you 21.
Oh, you're not giving me 21.
Eckler straight
oh,
up
I
for
see.
19. Like he's.
Oh yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, imagine Austin Eckler and the 21st pick.
Oh golly.
Oh man. Yeah, Austin Eckler for the 19th overall pick. Confirmed. All right, so now Chargers are up at 19
And we have 21 too.
and 21. You're sandwiching the Seahawks right there.
And with that 19th pick, you know who we're taking.
oh yeah, you traded up just to
We
replace
traded
him.
up. We want our replacement now. The pick is Bijan Robinson out of Texas.
Good pick.
Last time the Chargers picked a Texas running back, it went really, really well for them. They got LaDainian Tomlinson.
Pretty good
that's
player.
right.
I mean, I guess he was TCU, but he was from Texas.
Out of the state of Texas.
Out of the same state. So
Basically, it's the same thing.
yeah, basically. Anyways, Bijan Robinson's a good player. I've seen his game tape. His game tape. He's a playmaker.
And Texas has produced a lot of good running backs throughout the years.
Yeah. Who was
Earl Campbell,
Yeah.
Jamal Charles.
Jamal Charles came out of there.
There was another one too.
Where did Johnson come? Is it CJ? It's not CJ Johnson. What's his name?
Larry Johnson?
No, I'll
No?
remember
Okay.
his name in a little bit. He was fast, very fast guy. I forget his name.
Okay.
Barry
I was
Sanders.
thinking of Vince Young. I was thinking of Vince Young's running back when he was on Texas.
Okay.
No matter. But we took our running back at 19. Seattle, you're up at 20.
I am up at 20. I think more defense is in order. And
Seattle loves their defense.
Seattle loves their defense, and they love to make it better. And I think I will do that with a corner here. There are 4 corners right up here. And I don't really know if you could help me out on this one, David. There's 4 corners at the top of this board here.
All right, so Joey Porter he's a technically sound guy, Penn State, played against some good competition. He'll be very good, I think, in the NFL. Cam Smith and Kelly Ringo play very similarly. They're more ball hawking corners. If I were the Seattle Seahawks, I could see Seattle taking any one of those 3. You're pairing them with who was their corner that they
They got in the 5th round.
Yeah, and he's really
Woodson,
good.
right?
Yeah, Tariq
Woodson.
Woolen.
Or Woodens.
Woolen.
Yeah.
Tariq Woolen. You're
Tariq
pairing
Woolen
with
out of
Tariq Woolen, and
Texas.
Tariq Woolen's got a lot of it. He's got a lot of picks. So you could go a guy on the opposite side who's a good ball hawk as well. I think you could go a variety of ways here.
What do you think about Banks from
Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's got good mobility is what I would say, and good burst. He's not as athletic as the other 3, which is why he's probably not as high up, but he's what he's really good. He's actually really, really good at tackling. He's a pretty good tackling corner.
Okay.
So that might be a Seattle thing. I don't know. I think you could pick him here. I don't think you could go wrong with picking him here.
I don't think I will, though. I think I'm going to go with Porter out of Penn State.
Yeah.
Darn it. I was looking at him for a later pick.
Yeah, I think from what you said, from what I heard from you say, I mean, that sounds like a good pick for me.
Son of
My
a
team.
great NFL linebacker.
Yeah, and he's an athletic. I like Joey Porter. He's a very athletic corner,
That's what I like to
but
see.
he's very technically sound.
That is
so
a
he's-
deadly combo.
He's got a really good combo there, something that I think the Seahawks will love to have there.
All right, you're
Yeah.
up again as the Chargers.
Yeah,
again.
we're gonna take our tight end here.
Yeah, buddy.
There's a tight end not out of Notre Dame.
Utah.
There's a tight end out of Utah named Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah,
That
buddy.
the Chargers have been eyeing on this whole time. They desperately need a tight end to help Herbert out. Herbert's
loving this draft right now.
He will love this draft.
Oh, he's getting 2 new weapons.
I think the LA Chargers will be very happy with what they give in this draft. This is going to be a great draft for them.
They'll be very good on paper.
We'll
Yep,
see.
As always.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I think he's good. Michael Mayer was obviously the other guy other tight end you could have gotten here. But yeah, that's my pick at 21.
All right, next up, I got the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens, as their GM right now, I'm also just going to re-sign Lamar. I think that's a good idea. So just that's kind of going along with this. And then their offense is fine. They just signed OBJ.
Yeah,
we'll
buddy.
see, how many games he can play per year, but I think he'll be good for them. And then, now Nelson Aguilar is your 2. I mean, I don't think he's a terrible number 2 receiver to have. I think he's a little bit overhated as it comes as a receiver.
He's
I think
decent,
he's
yeah.
solid. And they also still got who was it they drafted a couple years ago, in the first round as a receiver. They got a few solid options. It's not a great receiving room, but it's fine. So I'm gonna pass up on taking a receiver here. I'm gonna go defense, and I'm gonna go with the home guy here, Banks out of Maryland.
Yeah. That's a good
Help out
pick.
their secondary, pair him up with Marcus Peters because he's pretty much all they got for corner. Second year with Hamilton back there, hoping that he can develop a little bit and just trying to build that secondary up.
Yeah, I think it's a great pick. He's very athletic. He's very explosive. Got good size. He's a little small, but I think they're going to develop him well there in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. And they also got Roquan Smith, who they traded for at midseason. So they could be building something there.
Good pick.
I'm the Vikings, aren't I?
You are.
Okay. The Vikings just got rid of their rookie wide receiver. I can't remember his name. He went to the Panthers, I believe.
Oh, Thielen?
Thielen, yeah.
Called him a rookie. He's the other way.
Or not rookie, veteran wide receiver. So they have one wide receiver right now, and they have a good tight end too. So
Good tight end, yeah.
I'm going to pass up on defense. I'm going to go wide receiver. I think I'm going to go Quentin Johnson here.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure how good this pick is, but I don't really care about the Vikings. I think if they have two good receivers out there, Justin Jefferson on the field to take pressure away from Justin or Quentin Johnson, I think he'd do really well. I think their offense is going to soar.
He's a very dynamic wide receiver. He averaged 18 yards per reception
Wow.
Jeez,
at
man.
TCU.
That's more yards than Justin Jefferson got against the Packers.
It's true. Just throw it to Johnston once.
Yeah.
Facts.
Solid pick there by the Vikings.
Next time they play the Packers, they just won't throw it to him
Yeah.
because he'll be locked down again. Palmer.
Jair Alexander.
It is the Jags.
The Jags?
That's
Who's
me
up
again,
next?
too.
Are you the Jags?
I believe. Am I not?
Who's the Jaguars?
Where are the Jaguars? Are you the Jags? You're the Jags,
I
David.
think I am the
David's the
Jaguars.
Jags.
Yeah.
Okay.
They need offensive line help. They just lost Jawan Taylor in free agency. And Darnell Wright is there at Tennessee, and he's a pretty good offensive lineman, so I'm going to take him.
Darnell
I'm going to take
White.
him. He was a 5-star prospect coming out of high school.
Oh, nice.
He's a good player, very solid. Got all that SEC honors team and whatnot. He'll be fine. He'll be fine in Jacksonville.
Sounds like you don't love him, though.
I think that, it's not a flat, obviously offensive lineman late in the first round. It's never a flashy pick.
Yeah.
But it's a pick that the Jaguars would make, and honestly, it's a pick that the Jaguars need.
Yep.
Protect Trevor Lawrence at all costs, not just because of his own health, but because Trevor Lawrence does not do well under pressure. So, yeah, you need to address the line here.
Yep.
Sweet.
So New York Giants. Who's the Giants?
I think I'm the Giants too.
Ooh.
You are. Yep. Double dipping. Here we go.
Who's the Cowboys?
There's a lot of ways we could go here.
That's me.
A lot of ways we could go here. But there is the one way that I'm going to go here. Yeah, so the Giants could use a corner. They could use an edge rusher, but I don't think they're going to get those players because I think they are in win now mode. Why do they think that? Because I think they think that Daniel Jones is actually good.
He isn't. Newsflash. He is just above all right.
I would put him there too. He's just above all right, which means he needs some weapons. Which means you could get a wide receiver here for them. But when I'm looking at this wide receiver board here, Jalen Hyatt's the only guy. Maybe Zay Flowers. I think the Giants would be foolish to take one of them. But there is a tight end out of Notre Dame. Michael Mayer is the pick here to the New York Giants.
And as the
Mayer.
Cowboys picking up going next, I'm cursing under my breath.
They
I'm
should
going,
be.
that was my guy. We let go of Dalton Schultz. We were going to get a tight end there, but no, our rivals get him, and now they get to pair him up with Darren Waller out there on the field.
I think it's a giant. It's such a giant move to steal a player like that from the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But even more so, they're just the team in the way that Brian Dable runs his offense. He's going to utilize both those tight ends.
Yep.
Really, really well.
I like Brian Dable. He's really cool. There is another tight end, the 6'7" guy, who I was talking about earlier with the giant wingspan.
Yep.
Who caught it with like 2 fingers in the combine.
Is that Darnell Washington?
That's Darnell Washington. Yeah, I'd pick him if
They
I
might go somewhere there. He's a little bit down on the board, at least on here. I feel like the Cowboys, they definitely wanted to go there, but instead I think they're going to go out and try to improve on a strength that they already have, namely their defense. I'm going to go edge rusher Isaiah, was it Fosley?
Foskey.
Out of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Is it not Foskey?
Isaiah Foskey.
Foskey?
Yeah, Foskey.
Dude.
So pair him up with Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, they already got a good front seven, and they're building upon that now.
Nice.
Kind of also a little bit of a panic pick by them because they were really hoping that Michael Mayer was going to be there.
Yep.
Buffalo Bills are up next. That's you,
Buffalo
John.
Bills are up next.
Where do you want them to go?
I don't know.
What are their needs? Do they need another receiver to pair up with Stephon Diggs? Do you want them to take defense here?
Their
Offensive
defense was pretty
line?
solid. And I'm a terrible fan for this, but I don't really know if they lost too many pieces on defense.
They lost McKenzie for that's on offense.
That's their wide receiver 3.
Well, not anymore.
It was their wide receiver 3.
They got Tre'Davious White out there at corner for them. Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, probably the best safety duo in the league. I don't know who their number 2 corner is, so maybe you could go there and really try to shore up their secondary.
Kilo Ringo.
Ooh, Kelly Ringo.
Or
Out of
my
Georgia.
goodness, Ke-
So Keely Ringo, he had the game-winning pick 6 for the Georgia Bulldogs 2 years ago.
In
the championship game.
Yeah.
clutch.
Yeah,
That's
he's
what
a-
we need.
He's a clutch player. He's very, like I said earlier, he's more of a ball hawking corner. He can let he's been burned by wide receivers before, but he also has a lot of picks. So
Ooh, so a real boomer bust
yeah,
kind of player.
Yeah, we need clutchness because we tend to,
Or he gets burned at the end of a game, gives up a touchdown.
I could see Kelly Ringo going here. That's a good pick.
yeah. Who's that other? It's the Cowboys safety or corner. He gets burnt a lot.
It's
Trayvon
a lot like him. Yeah,
Trayvon
Yeah.
Diggs.
Yeah,
yes.
Trayvon
You'd
Diggs.
love to get
There's
a
a lot
Trayvon
like
Diggs on your
Trayvon.
team.
Yeah.
I'll take the Trayvon Diggs of the draft. Yeah,
There you go.
I'll take him for Buffalo.
Good
and
pick.
I'm up again with
Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals, and their offensive line did not improve that much last year.
It was definitely better.
It was still not good.
Yeah.
It was bad and
Go out there and
mid.
protect Joe.
I think I will do that. Antonio Harrison is that
Anton.
Anton?
I don't know where you got Antonio.
I don't know, man. I'm just kind of looking at words and guessing.
Out of Oklahoma.
Anton Harrison out of Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's a solid pick, I'd say.
Yeah.
He's an offensive lineman.
That's what they need, though.
They need that because Joe's still getting tackled a lot. He's getting sacked. He's getting.
I feel like they could go there, or they go like linebacker.
That's a good pick.
But yeah, good pick. Saints. Am I the Saints? I think I am. I am. This is my last pick here in the draft. Let's see. Where do I want to go? Saints have a good amount of needs. They got Chris Olave last year, so I don't think I'm going to take like a Jason Hyatt or anything like that. Let's see. I'm thinking maybe defense. I'm going to go Brian Breeson or Breesy out of Clemson, defensive tackle.
Yeah, all right. And it's David's turn again with the
David
Eagles.
up with the Philadelphia Eagles.
I think most Eagles fans would scream, "Get the corner here, Cam Smith."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't need him. You have 2 corners that are signed for long deals in Bradbury and Slay. So they're not going corner here. They're not going wide receiver. They got a good wide receiver room. They don't need that.
Good wide receiver room.
I'm looking, and honestly, Howie does not take linebackers in the first 2 rounds. He never will. I don't think he's going to start now.
You don't think it's going to change here?
I do not think that will change now. I'm looking at the board.
Are you looking at that running back?
Ooh.
I have looked at that running back because
Amir
the
Gibbs.
Eagles could use one. We just lost
Miles
Miles
Sanders gone.
I don't think Sanders is going to be good on his own. He was behind a really good offensive line,
I would agree.
and he played. I can't remember who else, but it was a running back who was like kind of under the radar, and he played just about as well on a terrible offensive line,
Mm-hmm.
and he got traded to a better offensive line, and I think he'll perform better than Miles Sanders.
Right.
So if they get a good running back, they could stomp all over everybody, and they already did that. So,
I think it's a good pick. I'm not going to choose running back here because
Okay.
I don't think value-wise Howie's going to do that.
Yeah, it's not the biggest need here.
I'm going to go punter here. I'm just kidding.
so
I had to do that.
yeah, it was.
I'm going to go punter.
Yeah,
That's a real luxury pick right
yeah,
there.
that would be a luxury pick.
does that ever happen?
Yeah,
First round punter.
yeah. That was
First
a lot more
overall?
common back in the day. Yeah, punters and kickers go in the first round, in like back in like the 70s
Yeah, okay.
or whatever.
It's not the 70s anymore, David.
It's not.
I could see the Eagles trading this one away. In all honesty,
Yeah, give it to a team who wants to pick
so
up a fifth
before
year
I
option on
pick,
someone.
I will open this up to trade. Is there a guy on here that anybody wants? Any team would trade up for?
Do you think the Dolphins would trade up for this?
If there's a guy there that they really want, yeah, no one here has the Dolphins, but I mean, if you want to take control of them and try to trade up for someone, I mean, there's a tight end on the board there with Washington. They just lost Mike Gesicki.
Yeah.
Wow, want to do
You
it?
want to trade up as the Dolphins?
Yeah, you know what?
Why not?
I'll do it. Why not? It's all fake. So
Yeah,
so Eagles trade with the Dolphins for that 30 round.
And I'm gonna be honest. Who cares really what?
yeah, the compensation. Well, I just gave him a second and a third because why not? My trade has declined. What the heck? I'm both teams.
Yeah, no. No, I think this would be a trade.
Trade
that
declined.
would
What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's there. Whatever.
All right, I think Dolphins are they're at 30.
And
Dolphins
they
are-
have a guy they're eyeing. I'm gonna imagine
Who do you want?
I think I'll be taking that tight end there.
Darnell Washington, the freak from Georgia.
Darnell.
Honestly, that would be such a Dolphins move too.
It would,
Getting the flashy tight end.
because that's kind of like Gesicki wasn't
Yeah,
he? He was Gesicki's
It's a
just
good
a big
pick.
receiver.
it's a good pick.
Mm-hmm. I could definitely see that happening there at 30.
Yeah, buddy, he's a freak. He's huge.
And now David up last.
Jalen Hyatt,
31.
Tennessee,
Yep.
locking it in right now.
Dang.
That is a Kansas City Chief pick right there.
Yep.
I think that. Yeah, they need a wide receiver, right? They just lost Juju. Where did Juju go?
Somewhere there wasn't the
Patriots.
Chiefs.
That's right, he's a Patriot now. Yeah, I mean they just lost him. You look at that wide receiving room and you're kind of like, who do you got now? You got to add to it. You got to
Yep.
keep adding to it. They lost their. Do you guys think he was their best wide receiver?
Juju for the Chiefs last
Yeah.
year? Yeah, probably.
Who's the
Yeah,
creepy
that
guy?
Tony?
Tony. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Gardarius Tony.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney. He's pretty good.
He's pretty
I
good.
could see
He's
him definitely
fast.
developing.
He's a
Yeah, they
good-looking
utilized
fella.
him really well. Jalen Hyatt is I think he's going to be a very good wide receiver in the NFL. He's 6 foot. He ran really well for track. His 40-yard dash verified 4.31.
Ooh, baby.
That's a
Speed.
lot.
That's speed. I think
New Tyreek Hill.
I
Yep,
think
they're
he might
they're
be-
building that
he
new
might be that next replacement for Tyreek.
building that 2019 receiving room all up again,
That's right.
where everyone runs under a 4.4.
Jeez, man.
So look at that first round.
Yeah, I think that was a fun draft. I think that's a good draft right there. Because there's always the unpredictability of it, and I think we definitely had that element here. Yeah, the Titans trading up for Anthony Richardson. Wait,
Yeah.
what?
What? The Titans GM is a dummy. Oops.
The Chargers going out here and swapping running backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the Chargers won this draft.
The drama of the Giants taking the guy the Cowboys wanted.
They were so upset.
They were so upset.
So many tweets about
That
this.
whoa, wouldn't that be something if they did
Oh
that?
yeah.
We're predicting the future.
A Darren Waller, Michael Mayer tight end room.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and honestly,
man.
they don't have many. If you look at their wide receiving room, they don't really have many
They
good
don't
wide
got a whole lot
receivers.
there.
So quite frankly,
Those are going to be their top two.
that's your
targets.
two targets right there. I mean, you just run a 12. You ran a 12-man set in the front.
Throw it to your tight ends and to Saquon, and that's it.
Yeah. At that point, you would do that, and honestly, you get an extra blocker for Saquon too.
Mm-hmm. Honestly,
There.
though,
it's an offense that I think Brian Dable would be willing to run. And
Yeah,
on
I
top
could
of that,
see that.
And on top of that, you're kind of spiting the Dallas Cowboys at the same time. So
I'd love to see it. I just want to see. I just want to see more football, man.
Right.
I'm tired of the offseason. I
Still
just wanna
got
watch
several
some
months,
football.
several more months.
Have you been watching the XFL?
No,
I've been keeping a little bit of an eye on it. I follow the Las Vegas Vipers.
Yeah.
I did see the worst team in the league, the Guardians, beat the only undefeated team. It was winless versus it was like 6-0 versus 0-6, and the 0-6 team got the win. So there's been a little bit of drama going on there, but I'm not following it very closely.
Right.
Because I mean, there is kind of like a nice aspect to the off season. It's like I get to take a little bit of a breath, you know. And,
Yeah.
And it just makes when football season comes around that much sweeter.
I'll pick a team sometime in the future.
USFL season 2 starting up in this weekend, I think.
Oh yeah.
So
Ooh, that might be fun.
So there were before. I don't know if you guys were when you guys were planning to end this podcast. I do want to bring something up quickly.
ooh, let's hear it.
Let's hear it
So-
right now.
The league. This was like a week ago, so this is kind of old news. But there were reports on within the next 5 years, the NFL having actual international teams in their own division.
Yeah, like a European division.
I don't know if
right?
you guys have talked about that at all yet.
No, we
Or-
haven't.
Not yet,
I've
no.
heard about it a
But
little
it would
bit.
be like Berlin, Germany. Like Berlin, Germany would get a team. Mexico City would get a team. London would get a team.
They'd all be terrible.
They probably would. In all honesty.
Yeah, I mean
I think London would do the best there out of the people.
London. Yeah, because we've already had a bunch of games there and whatnot.
They have football fans.
Because that's
over
what
there.
all these international games really have been, is just testing the waters.
I mean, would you put if you do that? I'd put a team in Toronto.
Yes, definitely a Canadian
I'd put
team.
one in Canada. You know,
I'd put 3 in Canada. Honestly,
Yeah,
Why not?
But I mean, I think you're fine even just putting one, because all the Canadians are all of a sudden just gonna be fans of that team now.
Yeah.
Boom, 30 million fans.
I wonder if the Japanese market
Ooh, because
there.
football's big in Japan.
is it.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty big out there.
'Cause,
They got
I mean,
their own league and whatnot.
Tokyo is one of the largest cities in the world.
Mm-hmm.
that would
Why-
be crazy.
Why not?
A Tokyo team, the tallest player is like 5'8", and it's just, oh man, that'd be
I
cool
could see
though.
them being really good, like secretly, like really good at what they do, though. You know, like they got some good. Japan's got some good athletes.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Like I don't know if you guys watch or follow baseball at all.
Not too closely.
The
No, but
MVP of the league this last year
I-
is Shohei Ohtani,
was he the pitcher and the?
and like he's so good.
Oh wow.
he got
so
like an
good.
MVP, or he got like a best pitcher and like best hitter too, right?
Yep.
In the same year.
In the same year.
He broke records for both of them in the same year, and he pitches like a really really fast. What was like 100 and I can't remember. He pitches really really quickly, and like he has a really high batting average too. He's like a top 5 player in both sides of it,
Right.
and he plays both of them both games.
Who knows what would happen if you had some football players, huh?
Yeah. I
Dude.
think I wouldn't be against it, but you know, there's of course all the aspects that you have to, all the hoops you have to get through to do that. You know,
Sure.
you got to be able to convince, you know, players to, you know, move to a different country
Yeah.
and all that stuff. But
Building a new team's hard, but
yeah,
I
I
think
think
it's
it's
super
definitely
cool.
possible.
yeah.
And I mean, if it happens, like I'll watch it. You know.
Yeah, I'd still watch the NFL. Yeah, that's not gonna. It might make it more interesting, but
I think
Mhm.
so. Yeah, and it's like an American versus Japan Super Bowl. That'd be sick,
that
right?
would be cool.
That'd be kind of
That
cool.
would be cool.
You have it in Tokyo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a Super Bowl in Tokyo. Wouldn't that be sick?
That'd be
That
kind
would
of
be-
sweet.
That would be cool.
They have a stadium with like 200,000 fans in it.
Oh
The
yeah.
Super Bowl tailgate would be insane.
Oh.
Dude, just
That
a
would
bunch
be
of,
insane.
yeah, that'd be man. I'm pumped.
What would you name a team in Japan?
I don't know. I don't want to be anything racist.
The Tokyo Samurais.
Ooh,
Samurais
yes.
could be good. Yeah.
Tokyo
Yes.
Samurais. You get the Tokyo Samurais. You get like the London Bulldogs or something like
The
that.
London Knights.
or the Knights. Yeah, that works.
The London Round Tables, just a bunch of
What would
tables.
you
You
call
get-
a team in Germany?
Uh-oh.
Don't say.
I didn't
Whoa,
say anything.
someone else
Yeah, whoa, David. I don't know. The Mountain Goats or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah, something PG.
Some PG.
What would you call that Canadian team?
The maple
Mounties.
syrup.
You wouldn't say the Mounties or anything like that. Something I feel like Toronto would do something normal. So I
Maybe
actually
some kinda like
I actually
Wolf or
like
something.
I actually like Toronto's actual sports teams. So it's the
They got
Toronto
the
Blue Jays
Raptors, right?
and the Toronto Raptors. And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of a cool like it's a dinosaur. That's kind of a cool.
That is cool.
Mascot.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So they could have like the Tyrannosaurus Rex,
Touchdown T-Rex.
the T-Rex football team, or something else. Maybe we can dive deeper into that next episode.
It's like the
there.
same thing like when you're like naming a dog and it's like, oh well, like how does his name sound when you go yelling in a park?
Yeah.
It's the same thing where you got to be like touchdown and you got to say the name and see if it flows or not.
Blue Jays is kind of a baller name,
I
honestly.
think,
Touchdown
in
Blue
all
Jays.
honesty, I think before we even get an international league, San Diego has to get either the Chargers back
Yeah.
or a team back.
I feel like you
'Cause
got to move
they
the
need-
Chargers back.
The San Diego, it's the it's their team.
Yeah.
still. San Diego desperately needs a team
Mm-hmm.
back there in St. I mean, honestly, I'm looking at St. Louis. And
Oh, yeah.
they need a team
Well,
again.
with in the XFL, I think the top attended games in XFL, both now and in 2020 when they did it, are always St. Louis Battlehawks games. Like the people there, they love it,
It's
and
because
so
they
they're-
don't have
exactly.
for football anymore.
and so they
See a
they,
need,
they
fill
need
it.
something.
Yeah.
XFL smart.
Yeah,
Put it in places where it needs.
So what you would do is you would get 4, basically, because divisions are 4 in the NFL. You would create a whole new division within the U.S. and then you would create another division outside the U.S.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Something in Europe
to
or
make
something.
it 40 teams in the NFL.
Yeah,
And each conference has 5 divisions instead of 4.
Or 4 divisions with 5 in it.
yeah, or you just
Yeah.
add into
5
the
players
divisions. You could do
each.
that too.
And honestly, you could have all 4 one of the divisions that has the U.S. teams. It could be Canada too because it's in same
Yeah,
time zone.
yeah.
Or Mexico as well.
Mexico,
Yeah, sure.
yep.
Even Mexico
just like
City,
the North
sure.
America.
It could be like Mexico City. San Diego could stay within their own division. They just need to get the Chargers back.
Yep.
San Antonio has needed a team for a while.
St. Louis.
Montana
St.
needs a team.
Louis, and then Toronto or something like that. Yeah.
The one thing that would
Vancouver.
screw with me with that is like 32 teams and we're all split up into 4 divisions and it's like the math just all works so well.
It's
And
because
like,
you're not-
I don't want that
You
to
don't
be all
want to add
screwed
that and
up.
screw it up, sure.
Because that's the same thing too when they added a 17th game. It's like I like that and all, but now the math is all screwed up.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah, but you weren't around for when the Jags got added.
yeah,
And
or
you don't
yeah,
know.
when we had 31 teams for a little bit and we had uneven conferences.
That was
or
weird.
We had like 5 or 6 teams per division, and so like when the Texans got added in 2002, it's like everything was perfect, and now
And
you
it
got to go out
still
and
is.
ruin it.
Well,
still is
until the
perfect.
17 games.
Yeah, until 17 games.
2
I'm
years
just waiting
ago.
for 18 games. That's going to
well,
happen.
Remember, 7 teams in the playoffs. in each
Yeah,
side,
that
too.
screwed it up too a little
That's
bit.
another one that's kind of like, whoa, okay.
It's like I'm classic. Give me my football like it's 2015.
Yeah.
So would it be 8 teams then if you added 4 more teams to each side?
So, yeah,
It might be,
Would, It
yeah.
would be 8 more teams. You would have one division and
Because the
extra in
NFL would
each
love to put in an
conference.
extra playoff game because that's just that much more money.
What you would do is you would make it. There would be 5 division winners instead of 4,
Mm-hmm.
and then you would have something like three wild card teams, and
Yeah.
you'd have 8 teams in either division, something like that. I could totally see that.
For sure.
Just waiting for that Canada team and that Mexico team.
Yep.
Come on, Canada. Come on, Mexico.
Need another Midwest team because Montana's kind of getting the shaft right now. We don't have anything.
Have nothing.
I really like the idea of a team in Billings but it's not just for Montana, but it's for Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, and the Dakotas. Because Billings is like pretty central to all that.
I think it would.
So I could see that.
I just think of the Denver Broncos
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of those states adopt the Broncos as their team.
Yeah.
Because they got nothing else to do. I mean, it's just
But like if there's a team,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
market themselves as, they're not like the Billings elk or whatever. They are like
the mountain men.
I know it.
yeah, they're a very general region.
What if you did like the Northwestern something and it was like the Northwest? How about not in Billings? How about in Calgary? Calgary, Canada.
Oh.
Calgary is I know it's in Canada, but Calgary as a city is actually closer to Bozeman than Bozeman is to Denver. It's closer in
Yeah.
proximity.
I-
Calgary also has almost, I think it's like 750,000 people.
Yeah,
in
they
it.
got a lot of
like
people
it's
there.
got a ton of people in there that
I-
would cheer.
I think personally, it's harder for Americans to go over to Canada than Canadians to come over to America.
Sure.
Yeah, I think they'd have a tough time with that a little
That'd
bit.
be a tough
marketing
time.
to the American demographic there.
Especially since it's a Canadian team. It's hard to root for a Canadian team if you're American.
I'd want to root for a team, even if it's in,
Then
Boise
we should
or
just
something.
purchase Alberta.
Yeah. I think
I agree.
just take back the entire
Northern Montana
Don't-
right there.
This is not a political podcast. We are totally taking Alberta.
This
Watch
isn't
out, Canada.
politics.
It's
This
just facts.
This is football. just all of Canada. And then put some teams
We're
up
taking
there.
it for a good reason, though. We're taking it for football.
Yeah, have an Alaska team,
Right.
Uh-huh.
This is gonna be
I
great.
could see Spokane
Oh, yeah.
being a place like that too. Spokane's got
Spokane
a half a
or-
million people. Mm-hmm. And actually, if you include Coeur d'Alene and some of the other surrounding towns, it's way more than that. So
It's just kind of a ways.
Just give us something, NFL.
Give us
For us
anything.
Montana people, we got nothing.
throw a team in Boise.
Honestly.
We'll drive to Boise and watch.
Yeah.
I will live in Boise. I will go
I mean,
to Boise.
I don't know. It's going to be pretty tough to pull me away as a Packers fan, but like I'll make it my new permanent secondary team,
Yeah, I'll go to Billings. I'll go to Boise. I'll go nearby.
Especially if you put them in the AFC, they're not competition with my Packers at all.
Yeah, team there, team in
Because
Canada,
we're all
maybe
NFC
two.
fans, so.
And you gotta get a team in Berlin, Germany.
Oh my
Germany?
gosh, dude, the Germany game last year, that was awesome.
I think they have a crowd for it.
Oh, 100%.
Dude, yeah, they were like singing Sweet Home, Sweet Caroline and
Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama. They probably were. I don't know.
I'm sure they were.
Sweet Caroline, and they were all happy to
They were
be
feeling
there.
it.
They weren't rooting for
Sweet
anyone.
Home Deutschland.
Sweet Home Deutschland. And
Bum, bum, bum.
bom, bom, bom.
Bob.
Yeah, they were all wearing all sorts of jerseys and stuff. I think they'd love to have their own team to root for
Oh,
because they were
yeah.
rooting for every single team.
Same
You
thing
saw-
for London. When you go to when you see those London games, there's every jersey there. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter who's playing.
There's enough people there to fill a stadium, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And the Jags like playing over there. Maybe they just relocate.
And I really do think you can't really market American football anywhere else nearly as well as you can in London, Germany, Mexico City, and Tokyo.
Canada.
And Canada, like,
But they already got their own league and all that,
Canada has
too.
their own CFL, Canadian Football League, too.
Boo.
So, but my point is like you can't put a team in Brazil. You can't put a team.
Yeah, no.
And you can't. I don't think you. I think it'd be tough to put a team in Paris or Rome.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, they're
like,
all
you know
too posh.
They're too.
they're
too
posh.
fancy for that.
Yeah, they're very posh. It's
Dirty Americans.
but yeah. I feel like
Exactly.
That's
The
exactly right.
football, you not kick it. It's
You
the
throw
hand-
the hand egg.
And we're
Those
certainly
kind of
not
people.
putting a team in Moscow, Russia,
Oh no.
Well, that's not going to
Not right
happen.
now.
Really.
or China.
No, China's not going to get one. I think, and it sounds weird, but I think India could do well with one. It's like a third world country, but like I think they'd watch it. I think they'd have the crowd for it, and they're not really like hostile.
I think they would.
I mean, what
Have
am I-
you seen? Okay, so there is
It's like
one
a hostile mob in Minecraft.
guys. There is one sport. You guys got to look it up. It's called kabaddi.
I think I've heard of it.
It's so fun to watch. It's a really interesting sport. It's like a mix between. It's like a mix between. It's not dodgeball, but it's like a mix between like wrestling. It's got like the tackling aspect of football. It's interesting. Well, look up kabaddi. They play it in India. It's so much fun to watch. Like it's a sport I could easily see Americans adopting. It's like it's one of those kinds of games. That's
But
really
you know
cool.
what's more fun? American football.
American football is
Ooh.
the greatest sport ever.
king.
all time.
Yep.
Maybe like soccer is
No.
technically a better sport, but
It's just more popular.
imagine if people who played soccer like Messi and other people, because I only know Messi, people of that caliber of like really high level athletes started playing football for international teams. I think they could do good with a couple years of training for that. They could have
Oh yeah.
colleges out there would be like, hey, come play football here,
Right.
and then you could have college football.
Well, there's
and-
the NFL International Pathway Program right now, where they go around. They basically like do an NFL combine in like Australia and
Australia could get a team.
and that
Australia
kinda-
could get
they
a
could
team.
definitely.
Australia's
Dude,
just like
their
America.
rugby fans are
Jordan
wild.
Mailata came from New Zealand.
Yep.
He's he came from New Zealand, not New Zealand.
Put a team over in
Uh,
Sydney and then just
one of
get
those countries.
you know
A team in
Australia and all
Sydney
those
and then a
islands
team
over
in
there.
Australia.
the Pacific Division.
Yeah.
You get Sydney, Australia. You get Honolulu, Hawaii. So you do have
I like
another team in the U.S.
South Korea.
You could do a Seoul, South Korea, and Tokyo, Japan. Those are your 4
Yes.
teams. Guys, we just made ourselves a division.
Yeah, buddy, we're super good
That's
at this.
awesome.
We
And
could
then-
be hired.
That's so cool.
Honestly, hire us, Roger.
That's
we know
not
you're
gonna
watching.
happen.
Yeah, Goodell, come on. Come on, there's your 4 teams.
Loyal viewer, Roger Goodell.
Your Pacific Division. That's your Pacific Division.
Dude, we should talk about this more another time, but
yeah.
we're kind of out of time now. Thanks for coming on, David. It's
Yeah,
always
this was
fun.
a lot of fun. We
is
gotta
cool.
have you on. David's gonna be moving away, unfortunately, soon. But I think you're gonna be here after the draft, right?
I will be here after the draft. Yeah, maybe.
So if we could have you on like post draft, you know, get your thoughts on what happens and whatnot, and
How we predicted it, like exactly.
yeah,
down
how
to-
we happened to just nail every pick today.
Right. I'll be glad to discuss it with you guys.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, buddy, I'm excited for it. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
and thank you, loyal listener, for listening or watching or however you're doing. You can go ahead, leave a review, leave a comment, whatever platform you're on. Any interactions appreciated.
Yeah, we'll read all the comments and all the reviews and all that business. So,
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
see you. Bye bye.